Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another Slime Isekai Memories video. So today, this is just going to be a new type of, content that I'm going to be trying. I figured with the introduction of Valor Cup that I would just try out different teams, try out different elements against other elements, and try and find what works best, and I guess kind of showcase how flexible the game is, and how flexible certain elements are. And this is going to be kind of the test to that sort of idea. So with that being said, the team that I'm using for the theme of this video is going to be the space team, mainly Space Guy. Now if you don't know what he does, he is obviously the space attack lead, but he also buffs physical attack by 6% with his protection skill. And his overall skill, he changes Soul of Protection and Soul of Secrets, 3 each, into Soul of Skills, basically like Light Shizue, or just like a green version of Earth Hakuro, of Toa, and what he also does is he decreases all targets AoE damage resistance by 15% for 2 turns, and increases all allies' secret skill gauge by 35%. So I'm going to be taking him into Valor Cup, mainly with this sort of setup. If I can click onto it here. So the main units that I'm going to be using are Space Rimuru, the OG Space Rimuru, the Hero, and Misery. Now you'll notice that I don't have any orb changes on here, and the reason for that is I feel like with this team, one, I don't have Velzard. I'll do another video where I get her and I use her, but this is before that, and I feel like the space team is already good enough where they don't even need it, and that's mainly because of 2 things. One is obviously the Hero. Her rewind just gives so much utility in terms of gaining protection, setting up orbs for the next turn, and gaining skill points. And then Misery, Misery, her other skill, this one, the 15-point skill where she increases Soul of Skills gauge increase by 30% for 2 turns, and Soul Skills damage by 15% for 2 turns. I'm going to be taking advantage of this and the rewind to just sort of force my way to Guy, while also doing more damage to the enemy team. And surprisingly, it's worked out pretty well, as you'll see in the following battles. But yeah, that's kind of the strategy / theme that I'm going for, and let's get right into it. Alright, so the first battle we're going to start with is using the space team against the wind team. I don't exactly remember which one, but we have obviously the space trio that I had lined up, and then we have 2 earth units in the back, because they are using space units as their backline characters. So here we both start off with the same hand, 3 oranges. So I think what I do here is I just clear the 3 oranges. Usually this hand is the worst for the space team, because there's no benefit with the orange orbs. They get the debuff, and Dino's debuff is actually causing my Rimuru to take like a pretty decent amount of damage, which surprised me, because I don't really like Dino as a character, but who knows, maybe I should revisit him soon. But here I pop Misery, and you can see we get a lot of skill points when we do pretty decent damage, almost kill Hakuro. They pop Drago and then use the 2 units. Rimuru's looking kind of low, so here I'm going to swap him out with the Earth Millum, because the Space Millum is out, and I'm going to pop the Rewind here, and then I'm also going to pop Millum's protection buff to get double of the protection gauge increase, right? So here I'm going to target the Wind Dino with the space units, and then I'm going to target Space Millum with the Earth units. Now the reason I'm using Earth Millum is because Guy buffs physical, and I mean, most of the Earth units are magic. So my best Earth physical unit is Earth Milim at the moment, because I haven't really worked on their gear. But here we're gonna pop Guy's protection skill, so we get a full hand of greens, and we're gonna get a lot of skill points. Misery has her ult. We're gonna build up Earth Milim's ult as well. And here I'm gonna pop the defense just in case. I figured because I'm gonna have a lot of skill points anyway, I might as well. And here I'm gonna send all the Earth, all the Milim at the Space Milim, doing a pretty decent amount of damage, and then we're gonna kill Dino here, which I think will tag Hakuro back in. So we still have the debuff on the other two units. We have 2 ults now, and we have, I think, 100 skill points. Yeah, and another guy charge. So we have 3 ults actually. We have all 3 ults, which basically sets us up for game. Because if I pop the crit buff, we're already going to be doing a lot of damage. And what I could do here, which I'm not too sure if I do, I could pop Guy again to get the full hand, buff their ult gauge again, and then also give them the debuff. Probably would have been a smarter play to do so, considering how close I am to getting another Guy charge. But I just ended up not doing so because I thought it was a waste at the time. But I could have put more damage onto like maybe the Rimuru. But here we wipe out Space Milim. Hakuro comes back in, and Misery is going to kill Wind Luminous on the right, critting for 17,000, pretty good. Which drags out, oh, I mean, it's just the 2 left, and then Hero is going to kill Hakuro and send Rimuru down to really low health. And he doesn't have his ult, so he just does the 3 hits, which Earth Milim tanks, and then we send the final 4 hero orbs to clear him out. So pretty smooth run. This is what it like when you get the best RNG. This is like how fast you can wipe him out because you just get 3 ultimates, which basically guarantees you the game. But with that, let's move on to the next battle. All right, the next one we have is again against another Wind team. Now, here I'm bringing Wind Hakuro because he's my best Wind physical character, and then I'm also bringing again Earth Milim because of the type advantage, right? Now, I have Wind Shuna as my support, but honestly, I could have used like Earth Hakuro, Toa maybe. I think it doesn't really matter too much as long as it buffs one of them. And I figured it would be better to buff Hakuro, right? Because you know, he's just going to be outputting more damage. It honestly, I could have chosen anyone, but I just went with Wind Shuna because she is 6-starred as well. So this should be pretty smooth. I don't think Earth Milim is going to do as much damage as I want her to, considering she's not getting that many buffs, but I think as long as we set it up properly, we should be a-okay. So here we start off with, this is the best hand that you want to start off with, because I can immediately pop Misery's buff and then send the 3 orbs, which gives us 26 skill points and also gives us like pretty decent Guy charge and will deal a decent amount of damage. Now here I target Geld because the other 2 Wind units are annoying, but Geld allows them to set up for more combos, so I figured I should just take out the dude who will allow them to, you know, get more combos and stuff with his orb change, right? So here I pop the rewind. I'm gonna send the 3 protection. Hopefully we get a full hand of oranges. We kill Geld here, which drags in Water Soe. And the rewind is going to happen again, just praying for full orange orbs, or at least a decent amount, which we get 5. Unfortunately, we couldn't get 6, but I mean, 5 is better than nothing. That puts us close to a Guy protection charge, and Wind Milim is almost dead. So that's all fine and dandy. Obviously, the AI switches her out with Space Ranga. Hero's looking kind of low, so I'm going to swap her out with Wind Hakuro. Or Earth Milim, I believe. Yeah, Earth Milim. And then I'm going to just send the 4 Misery because, I mean, that's like the best combination I can do right now. We get Hakuro pretty low, like 40% HP left. again, they send the 3 blue orbs and they attack Misery, but Misery's tanking it just fine. Now here, I'm like, okay, I might as well pop the Guy skill. And originally I was thinking about swapping Misery out just so I can take advantage of the full hand. But I figured I'm just gonna go for it, right? So use Guy, use Misery's buff again to deal more damage, and then we're gonna have her ult Hakuro, and then I'm gonna send the Millums at Space Ranga and also the Rimurus, giving us full skill points and another Guy protection. So Hakuro's dead, dragging in, I think, Millum? Yeah, Millum, who's already kind of low. And then we do pretty decent damage against Ranga, making him, I think, a little bit below half HP. Yeah, actually a bit more than half HP. But here, the Shuna charge unfortunately goes off, so they're all guarding. And then Soe also does the orb change, so Misery gets pretty low. But we have Earth Millum and a Space Rimurus ult, so not too worried here. So here I'm going to bring in the hero for Misery, and I'm going to pop the crit buff, just to, you know, ensure I do as much damage as possible. And then I'm going to drag Hakuro in because I don't want hero to die in case it doesn't kill, and also we can do damage to Soe. I could have maybe popped the Guy there to do the full hand. Here I play the Rimuru ult. I haven't seen this in so long. Still a good looking ult. I think one of the first they featured in the game because of, you know, how popular and I guess iconic to the series Megiddo is. Hits pretty hard, kills Ranga and Millum with Soe left, and then the Earth Millum's ult almost kills Soe, but unfortunately just barely didn't. He ults, Millum tanks it pretty decently, and then, you know, he hits her for a little bit more, and then we just finish him off with the 3 Rimuru orbs. So pretty decent there, pretty decent showing in my opinion. Like I said, I think the 3 green hand is the best one to start out with because of what you can do and how much you can play off of it. But yeah, let's go into the next fight. All right, so the next battle here is up against a fire team now, and again using the same space lineup. And in the back we have Gazelle. Now the reason I don't have Xion is because Xion is kind of reliant on Fierce Rate with Shizue, and I figured, you know, Gazelle just has slightly better stats, and you know, he's level 100, so you know, might as well like use him, and he can buff his own attack and his defense. And then we also have Fire Benimaru, the new one, because of his orb change, so that'll work pretty well. And also I want to test him out more, and I have Toa as my support unit, so she's going to be giving the fire buff to Benny, and then also buffing the physical attack of all the other units, along with Guy, right? So they're all getting a 15% physical attack increase with the protection buffs. So here we're just again fighting against a basic fire team. EP is looking a little low, so this should be pretty easy. I mean, that's just how it is. Using Dark Rimuru, which is interesting on defense because I feel like the more defensive characters like Earth Benny, Golem, and stuff like that are a bit better suited, but they do the orb change, send a full, or I guess a 4 hand of oranges, and I'm targeting Guy because I don't want him to do the like the combo buff and stuff. I honestly, it didn't really matter. I could have taken out either Benimaru or Guy. I don't think Shizue is that much of a threat. Even though she does the orb change, she's not like, she doesn't do that much damage and stuff, especially with the fact that she's not getting buffed, right? So here we did the rewind, could only send 2 orbs, unfortunately not the best hands in the world, but we get rid of Guy here with the 3 orange orbs, halfway to Guy, 37 skill points, and we get 4 green orbs, so, and we get another counter by the hero, pretty nice. So I'm going to swap Gazelle out for the hero because she has the lowest HP, and here I pop Misery's buff because we have 4 skill orbs. Might as well. And I'm gonna target the Dark Rimuru because I think he's the most annoying, especially the fact that he's getting buffed. So good hits from Gazelle, getting him almost dead at this point. And then he's not doing that much damage. So here I believe I just send the 3 blues because that'll guarantee me I guess I go to 3 Rimurs and that kills the Dark Rimuru, gets me a guy, and also 78 skill points. And we have Rimuru's ult. Here they do a 5-hand, which is fine. Rimuru was able to tank it okay. So here I'm going to do the attack buff, I believe, with Rimuru. Unless I decide to do the crit buff, which, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I do heal Rimuru though, which actually prevents me from doing the other ones, so that's fine. And I pop Misery's buff here with the 35, because we have 5 orbs. So I'm gonna send, I think, the orbs first just to lower everyone's health. I want to be main targeting, trying to target everyone to spread out the damage a little bit, just to get them low. And I need to take out Benimaru because that ult is going to be kind of annoying. So luckily with Rimuru, the ult kills. Shizue has her ult, but I mean, I'm not too worried. Dark Rimuru gets its protection buff, but Shizue is, again, not getting that buff, right? Rimuru tanks it pretty well. Here we have Gazelle and Misery's ult, and I can just swap hero in, do the crit buff, and Gazelle's 2 buffs, and that's basically GG, right? Like, they're not going to survive. So Misery hits Shizue, Gazelle hits Soe, and then if the ult doesn't kill, then, you know, the other 4 orbs, along with his buffs, will definitely kill him. And we hit for 18,000 critical. Pretty good. And that's the end of that one. Pretty easy, pretty smooth. This team just works really well, in my opinion, unless you get really unlucky with RNG. Yeah, let's get into the next one. Alright, the next battle that we have is against a another wind team. And this is the team I'm using. I'm bringing Earth Milim and Fire Benny. And I have Hakuro as the support because he'll buff both of them equally. So this again should be pretty easy considering we are fighting a wind team. But yep, let's get right into it. I'm hoping again that we start off with the full hand, the 3 greens, because that will allow us to set up like the best. 3 blues is okay, like second after that, and then 3 oranges is probably the worst combination I can get. But here I get lucky again and I get the 3 greens, pop Misery again, same thing, and then I'm gonna target Wind Milim, just why not? And already doing decent damage. She's almost dead. Like 60% of her health is gone. They do the green orb change, but I mean, not gonna do too much damage against type disadvantage, right? So here I'm gonna pop the rewind, send the 3 protection orbs against Milim, and then if I get lucky I can bring in Benimaru, which will allow me to do the orb change up at the burn if I get lucky, and I get pretty lucky. A 5 combo is better than nothing, so I'm gonna swap him out for Misery because I don't really need her in the moment. And I'm gonna pop his orb change. I should have put the burn on someone else, if I'm being honest, because we just end up killing him, killing Hakuro like immediately, so the burn was kind of worthless, but unfortunate. But I mean, the burn didn't like affect anything too much really. So here they do the 3 oranges. Rimuru taking a bit of damage, kind of worrisome, but I'm gonna swap him out with Misery, and then I'm going to use use Misery's buff in the full hand. That's basically going to guarantee us another 400 skill points at least, right? And I want to kill this Space Millum because she has the Drago buff. But you know, we're not really doing as much damage as I would want. Here I send the full 4 Earth Millum orbs. Luckily they target Fire Benny because I think my other units would have taken a bit way more damage than that. But here I pop the crit buff and I'm gonna whittle down the Earth Millum because she's the biggest threat to my team at the moment. Hit Shizue or Shuna. Benny's gonna ult Millum, which should kill, which it does for 20,000. And then that's gonna make the hero able to kill both, and she does with her ult and the critical. So overall pretty good. Again, like I said, the green orb hand is the best. And let's get into the final match. Alright, so the final battle that we have here is against a dark team. As you can see at the top, type advantage is light, and then they also have water units as their backline. So I'm bringing Hakuro and Gazelle. Honestly, I could have brought 2 wind units and I think it would have been fine. But I just decided to go with Gazelle, and I brought Light Shizue as a support because I'm trying to buff Gazelle as much as possible. So Gazelle is going to be gaining the 3% to light and physical, and then also the, I believe it's 5% from Guy. So he should be pretty, oh my god, he should be hitting pretty decent, pretty decently hard, if that makes sense. But here we have the lineup Beretta, Veldora, and Xion. None of the new units, but it's whatever. Luckily we get the 3 green hand, so I pop Misery's buff, swap her out for Gazelle, trying to do as much damage as I can. And I target Beretta first because of her orb change, but I don't think it matters too much who I target at this point, because they don't have like game-changing skills, right? So here I'm gonna pop the rewind and clear the 2 orange orbs. I think that procs the Valor trait, but also I'm hoping for at least a pretty decent amount of hero orbs. So Beretta's almost dead, and I'm hoping the max I can get is 5, and I get lucky. I get 5 hero orbs. So I'm gonna send, I believe here I send 2 onto Beretta just in case like somehow she didn't die. She dies within the first hit, as you'll see, and then we hit the next person that switches in, which is Water Rimuru, and then the rest go to Dark Veldora, which is actually doing pretty decent amount of damage. He's not that tanky, so I was a little worried about the Water Rimuru because, you know, he is a defensive oriented unit, he can heal as well. So I swapped Gazelle out for Hakuro because Rimuru's out here. And initially I was thinking about popping one of the skills, but I realized it would kind of put me in a sort of bad spot if I need to use any skill points. So I just send the 2 greens and the hero ult to hope I get a decent amount of blue orbs next turn. So Dark Veldora dies, which brings in Soe, and I get a 5 hand, but they get a full hand of greens, unfortunately. Hero is taking decent amount of damage, and she's going to just barely survive with like maybe 100 HP. So I'm gonna swap her out for Misery, and then I'm going to do the attack buff from Rimuru because I want to kill that Water Rimuru as fast as I can. And I'm gonna send everything with Hakuro at the end. So I have 51 skill points, pretty good, and then I also have 1 and what, like 1.8 of a Guy protection charge. So I'm basically set. Last 2 units should be pretty easy. They pop the Orc Protector, but it's not really gonna do anything. They're gonna do some damage, but you know, it's gonna be, this is pretty much game. I pop Guy. I just have to pop Misery's buff again, and it's gonna do a lot of damage. I'm not sure if we'll kill, but I just, like, if anything, will do a lot of damage to Xion at the very least, and I want to get her out. So here I swap in Gazelle. Kind of a risky move because he's so low, so he's probably just going to die immediately. Kind of a bad play on my part, but it's whatever. So here Xion dies, and then I think at this point we get Soe low, but we don't manage to kill him. And yep, so he has two of his ults, and he's gonna ult Gazelle, which kills him, and then the hero comes in and she dies. Unfortunately, I played this really badly. I could have just kept Hakuro and it would have been fine, but I don't know what I was thinking. So here you just pop the defense down, and I mean, Soe's dead, right? He's not gonna live through the 2 ults, and Misery kills him for 10,000 damage, which, yeah, pretty good overall. I really like the space team. They're really flexible. I don't think they're as flexible or more flexible than other teams or certain teams, but I definitely had a lot of fun with them. They're a very fun team to use, and I think once I get Velzard with the ticket, because I still have the battle ticket from the bundle, once I get Velzard, I'll try her on, and she might be a pretty decent addition. Might be a good replacement for the Space Rimuru, because of her orb change and also the frostbite that you can put on the enemies. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.